Hi everybody. Welcome to this update of the market. We've had some volatility. I thought it was important just to communicate to you and give you some of my impressions of things that are going on. Let's start today by just looking quickly. Obviously, most of you, if you've been following the news, are aware that in America we've had a very spirited debate, a political debate on the debt crisis and raising the debt ceiling, and it finally got resolved, but not before again everybody got a little bit scared, and the market certainly reacted. Let's start by just looking at the Dow, and obviously we see, let me get my screen where I need it to be here. Okay, we'll go right here. Using the Qs for the NASDAQ first, we can see again in a very strong trading range, and we hit there 1, 2, 3, and it just peaked above it a little bit and then pulled back. It's obviously showing great weakness, but a little bit more downside till we get in that 53, 54 range to find support. Let's look at the Dow, because it was a little more dramatic, obviously down 265 points today. If we did the same thing and we just drew some lines on this, you can see again the resistance, and we hit there 3 times in the last several months. We also see here a level of support, and it would be this most recent low right there, and you can see that we got to that today. So very critical level today. Keep an eye on that. If we break through, obviously we'd see some continued weakness in the markets, and it could be, you know, that we go, there's the next low. So if you drew that over, that'd be around 11,500 would be the next level of support. So again, very weak, but again, a double top, most recently a triple top. Those are very bearish signs. And so how do we make money in this? Well, one of the things we want to do is look for opportunities in a falling market. I'm going to show you using the Market Club. I've had a lot of questions about the Market Club, and so I want to use that as just a couple examples, because I've had a few nice trades recently with this. And the thing that I like to do when the market's falling is I'm looking for the monthly trade triangles. They're the strongest ones, the ones that look for the change in the trend to a bearish trend. Obviously, I'd be searching for those trade triangles that match up with the overall trend of the market, and clearly that is down right now, so it only makes sense to be looking for those bearish trades. So here's how you do it. If you just click on recent trade triangles, which is always very easy to find, you see, let's clear those off. Every page when you go to Smart Scan, it says trade triangles there. Another thing is you can go to the Market Club homepage, and it right on there, the very first thing, it shows you as well a link to the recent trade triangles. What I like to do is look for just the monthly triangles, because they're the ones that indicate a change in trend, and I'm looking for those that appeared in the last 3 days. Let's run that scan. Now, when I see results on these types of scans, my eyes typically go to the larger, well-known companies, mostly because I want to stick where the action is. I don't want to get into the small stocks that I don't understand, certainly lower price stocks that can easily be manipulated. So as I look at this, a couple things jumped out at me here in the last couple of days. First of all, this is just today, or excuse me, in the last 3 days. We see some technology names on there. We also see a lot of gold mining type shares, or things that I'm seeing there, and they're on the bullish side. But as I get down, again, to follow the market, I get down to those companies that are bearish and having new red monthly triangles. Notice there's some trends here. I see Merck, which is a pharmaceutical company, Cubist Pharmaceuticals, Procter & Gamble, Abbott Labs, all big pharmaceutical companies, Kimberly-Clark, a company that's involved in consumer products as well. So again, what does that tell me? It tells me that there's some weakness in healthcare. There's some weakness in pharmaceuticals. Johnson & Johnson, another big healthcare or pharmaceutical company. Healthcare ETF here, the XLV, all those. So I see that there's a pattern there. Mylan, another big pharmaceutical company. Today was the day that Pfizer announced their earnings, and so those are the things I look at. that. So let's just look at one of these just so you can get an idea of how you might use this. Again, stick with the bigger names, and I like to look here. Let's look at Abbott. I'm going to go to the chart for Abbott. So as it comes up, again, I know that there's going to be a relatively recent monthly red trade triangle, and that means that there's a bearish trend starting to exhibit itself here. And the numbers that you see in these little boxes here, I'll put that up so you can see it. The negative obviously is the strength of the trend, so negative 100 would be the strongest negative trend. But you can see here again at the market for Abbott Labs breaking down a new monthly, so this would be a point where you could enter a short trade. I've been doing this just with 1 and 2 month put options for those of you that trade options, or easy just to short the shares and take advantage of it. Now you see 3 different times, if you look right here, and right here, that the market hit a resistance point right around $53, $54, and now we see a pretty dramatic pullback from that and the beginning of a new bearish trend. Those are the things I'm doing to find trades in this bearish phase of the market that we're seeing. Now again, be prepared that if we get some good news, we can see a quick reversal, but I think the market overall is just illustrating the weakness that everybody knew was there. Kind of the debt negotiation just became kind of a sideshow. So again, it's easy to get caught up in those things because they dominate the news, but those are the emotional things that are moving in the market. And using good technical analysis, things like the trade triangles or just regular trading charts, are ways that you can avoid those types of things. Now I want to just in closing here just to look at a couple of stocks that we've talked about in our previous sessions and give you a little quick updates. One in the news is Ebix. Ebix, several law firms just filed class action lawsuits against Ebix, and we can see that the stock is pulling back again to that support area around $18 where it closed today. The top seems to be around $21 if you look at that, just looking at a point of resistance, a little ceiling on the stock. So again, buying in the lower part of the range, doing cover calls, it's very volatile, so the returns are nice, and selling in the upper part of the range. I'm still playing a relatively large position in Ebix and with covered calls, and it seems to be working out okay even with this volatility. Another one that's been in the news is VXX, and that is the volatility ETF. And we can see, I'm just going to zoom in here to the last several months, and you can see again, if I draw some lines there, that it started bottoming out around 20, but then really took off here, and we're up in an area where you would say there's a little resistance on this thing. Great premiums on this as well. So the market falling, you can see a huge spike in that today, with the market falling 265 points on the Dow. So again, those trades have been working out really well since we talked last. Those opportunities certainly played into the trends of the market. So again, be careful out there. Keep your stops tight. Lots of weakness in the banking sector. Lots of weakness in technology right now. Lots of volatility in the market as well. So looking for bearish opportunities. Protect yourself on the positions that you have, and be careful out there. I look forward to being together with you again this third Wednesday of the month for another live session, and I've also got a couple of classes I'm putting together. I've had my son getting ready to leave home for 2 years on a mission trip to the eastern states, and so I've been spending a lot of time with my son, and he leaves tomorrow, so I'll be able to get back to a little more regular schedule and get us caught up on a few things. So anyway, happy trading. Be careful out there. We'll talk to you soon.